Hi, everyone. Michael Murphy here with the Murphy team of Long and Foster Real Estate in Westchester and Downingtown. Well, I hope everyone's doing well. Thought I'd send out a quick market update for, we're going to focus on Chester County today, and this will include data through the month of August. So I thought what we do is we'll start a little bit at a high level, and we'll talk about the real estate market rebound in general. Then we'll go into Chester County supply and demand dynamics, talk about how that's impacting the value of our homes and the value of a home that you may be interested in purchasing. And then for those of you that watch the videos, you're aware that it's still a very strong seller's market here. So I thought I would wrap up with some buyer tactics to purchase a home. So the top 6 things we're seeing buyers do to be successful, essentially competing to purchase a home. So starting at a high level here, this is regarding the number of showings in homes in North America. This isn't just Chester County, all of North America. And you'll see this big dip back here in the March, April, and into early May timeframe where the showings declined dramatically related to the pandemic, and then right back up beginning in May. And interestingly, they started going back up on May 19th, and that was the week that here in Pennsylvania, our governor allowed us to begin home showings again. And so we've seen this home showing activity really ramp up in May and get stronger month over month. So it's been an incredible rebound. And here's some commentary regarding that. So there's some quotes here from places that you're probably familiar with, Realtor.com, Zillow, and so forth. And the one in the lower right-hand corner summarizes it from the Murphy team perspective, which the rebound's been nothing short of remarkable. I mean, my gosh, I don't think any of us could have envisioned back in the very dark days of the beginning of the pandemic and the essential shutdown in PA real estate in March that we could have recovered so quickly and so strongly from where we were. We feel incredibly blessed to be in the real estate business right now. We're very grateful we're in the business, certainly sympathetic to those that continue to suffer economically through this pandemic. But in real estate, it's absolutely been a tremendous turnaround. I wanted to share one other thing with you before we get into some specific data. So this was a really interesting survey from Realtor.com. In April, they asked buyers, what's the most important need that you have in purchasing a home? And you can see the list: more interior space, more outdoor space, an updated kitchen, and better technology. Then they went back in July and surveyed the same people that actually purchased a home. And they asked them, what were the actual reasons that you moved? First one, more interior space. Well, you'd say, well, that's true just about in any market. But part of what's driving that today, people need more space for home office space. They need more space if they have children at home for homeschooling purposes, unfortunately. The desire to own versus rent. My gosh, Sue and I are seeing a lot of this. A lot of first-time home buyers reaching out to us currently renting that want to make an investment in purchasing their own home. The move from the city to the suburbs is a very real phenomenon. We're seeing it ourselves. People reaching out to us, clients reaching out that would like to relocate from Philadelphia or New York City out to beautiful Chester County. And then the last thing, more outdoor space. Now you say, well, okay, that's probably true in every market as well, and it is. But one of the things we're seeing in terms of more outdoor space, that literally means more ground, because people either want to purchase a home with an in-ground swimming pool or they want to put one in the future, again, related to so many of the pools being shut down for the pandemic. And that's a real change. Normally we would have told people with an in-ground pool that it's not necessarily a benefit. In fact, it eliminated previously probably about half the buyers, but that dynamic is clearly changing. Okay, so let's get into Chester County data. And again, for those of you that have looked at our videos before, you know that we help buyers and sellers in every price range, from 100,000 to several million. But the data I like to look at is more of the core of the Chester County market, which is $250,000 to $650,000. Well, Chester County unemployment rate is 10.1%, which is obviously exceptionally high considering where it was before the pandemic. That is one of the lower counties in Pennsylvania. And really, obviously, what's driving that, I think, without going deep into the data, is the unemployment rate in the hospitality industry and restaurant industry is still very high. So certainly sympathetic to those of you that are in the business. I know all my family, friends, colleagues, that we always talk about doing our best to support the local restaurants, either dining in, sitting outside, dining out, whatever we do. Tip as big as you can. So that's my advice if you're able. Be heavy on the tips. In spite of that, the demand for housing here in Chester County is phenomenal. So in August, there was only 1.5 months of supply of homes, which is incredibly low. Again, for those of you that have seen our prior videos, you'll recall a more balanced market is about 6 months of inventory. So we're nowhere near that. We've got very, very low home supply. In addition, even though I didn't list it here, you've got historic low interest rates. So you've got buyers that are want to take advantage of the low interest rates and buy a home, and yet you've got really, really low inventory, which creates a very difficult dynamic for the buyers. We're going to wrap up with that on the last slide. In July and August, homes in Chester County sold on average in 29 days, but that's even that's misleading data. As fast as that is, the truth is, if a home is priced at market value and it's in good to excellent condition, a home will sell in a matter of days and have multiple offers. There are 10% fewer listings this year versus 2019. I looked at that data. Obviously, that's impacting the amount of inventory that's on the market, but some of that has been skewed year to date by the data back in March and April when the listings really, really slowed down, because if you couldn't show your home, there wasn't much point in listing it, since it would be pretty difficult to sell. So in summary, at the risk of repeating, it's still an incredibly strong seller's market. Best time to sell a house in Chester County in at least 15 or 16 years, there's no doubt about it. But the flip side of that is, well, okay, great. What if I'm a buyer and I want to buy a home? I'm out literally competing for homes in this price range. And as I've said in prior videos, if you get to a different price point, if you're talking, for example, luxury homes, $1 million and above, the dynamic definitely changes. It becomes more of a balanced market. But in this core market that we're talking about, as a buyer, you've got to compete to buy a home. So what are the top 6 tactics that we're seeing? Now, as a disclaimer here, I'm not recommending or proposing all of these 6 tactics. I want to make that clear, so this video is not on Facebook or YouTube and, hey, here's a realtor guy in Pennsylvania recommending we all waive inspections and appraisals. That's not what I'm talking about at all. So let's go through that. So, well, price is the first one. No surprise there. We're seeing a lot of it. Pick a home that's listed at $500,000 in great condition and it's at market value. We're seeing people offer $520,000, $530,000, $540,000, $550,000 to buy a home like that. So we're seeing a lot of people use the price lever to buy a home. The next one is waiving inspections. As a realtor, again, my role is to look out for your interests. I have a fiduciary duty to do that. I can never look you in the eye and recommend you waive inspections. However, what we do is talk you through the risks that are involved. So if a home is relatively new, let's say a home's only 3 or 4 years old, you may want to consider waiving inspections to make your offer as appealing as possible to the seller. The home could be much older than that, but if all the mechanicals, major mechanicals, the roof, HVAC system, water heater, et cetera, are all relatively new, you may consider it. You may be in the trades yourself. You're not afraid of it. You may have a family member. It's different. All of these tactics are different for every home, but more importantly, they're different for every buyer based on your risk tolerance and your knowledge of homes. Paying cash for a home. There are a percentage of people that have enough cash on hand to actually literally pay cash for homes. And, that's going to be a real benefit to the seller. That way the seller's not worried about something unraveling during the mortgage process. So talk to us about that, that you can actually show that you have enough assets, enough cash to purchase a home. So you show the seller that. Sell price plus the closing costs. But once you have an agreement of sale, it's your right as a buyer to secure a mortgage loan if you choose to do so. So paying cash doesn't necessarily literally meaning showing up at a settlement table with that amount of cash. Waiving the home appraisal. We're seeing some of this. You're getting into pretty high risk tolerance now. You need to have some cash on hand in order to waive an appraisal, but we've seen it happen. And we've seen people be successful with that. Again, with all these, let's talk through them if you have any questions. Writing a sincere letter about your desire to purchase the home. I don't think this is anything new under the sun, but my gosh, we're seeing it more and more and more, again, on both the listing side and the buying side. I want to be honest as always. When we represent people on the selling side, many of them won't open the letters. They don't want it to be an emotional decision. It's just a pure business decision from a seller perspective, from many sellers' perspective. However, on the flip side, I've seen sellers open the letters, and when the offers are relatively close, I've seen them make decisions based upon sincere and emotional and moving letter. So that's a tactic. The last one is, and this is an interesting one. Again, this is about your risk tolerance and maybe a little bit about your skill set, is, don't chase the cream puffs, right? The homes that are out there that are $450,000, upgraded kitchens, perfect condition, fresh paint, move-in ready. Everybody's chasing those. You're going to get into a multiple bid situation. You're going to have to use one or all of the top of the prior 5 tactics I mentioned in order to get that home. If you don't want to do that, then don't chase the cream puffs. Let us help you. Let's go out and look for the homes that have been on the market for 60 or 90 days or longer. As long as they're in a location that works for you, whether that's a school district or a geographic location or a neighborhood, and the home has quote unquote good bones, meaning, it's been built well and you like the layout, let's find one. If it's in need of some work and some upkeep and some freshening up, that may be the best avenue for you if you don't want to get into a multiple bid situation. The other thing we can do is, we'll connect you with a lender that can talk to you about getting a rehab loan, a renovation loan. So you don't have to think about financing. Let's say you look at a home and you say, oh my gosh, it needs $75,000 worth of work. Well, you can roll that into a different sort of mortgage loan. So let us help you with that as well. So interesting times in the real estate market. I hope you found this interesting. I hope more importantly that you're doing well in terms of your physical health, your spiritual health. I hope that you're financially secure, and I hope that you enjoy our videos as always. We appreciate all your support and the comments we get back about these as always. If you have any questions, if you just want to talk about real estate, even though you're not thinking about moving, feel free to reach out to my wife, Susan, or I, or any of the members of the Murphy team that are shown here in this picture. Appreciate your support and hope to talk to you soon. Thanks.